far? I know we've been working together for maybe 2 weeks or so.
Yeah, about a
What's
week
been
and a half.
week and a half? What's kind of been your experience so far?
I've got about 5 or 6 leads in the week and a half. First guy uh, that came in, it was the very next day from getting set up with you guys. I called him. He immediately answered. Uh, I was like, "Hey, Ella told me that you were thinking about selling your house, and I'm actually a local agent. This is where my office is, based off of where his house was, so he can know, okay, this isn't just some spam call." And I was asked him his reason for moving, and then went ahead and set an appointment for the very next day. Went out there, met with him and his wife, and they've got a lot of decluttering to do, but we're probably going to go on the market in May. I got a guy that is a roofer that drives around, and he's not going to be back till around Easter, so we are going to be connecting around then. And I've got another appointment with a lady that I'm going to meet tomorrow at 10 a.m. at her house.
Wow, okay, that's a new one then. I didn't know about that. Do you have any feedback for us on the system or just overall, I guess just overall thoughts from day one to where we're at now, which is within 2 weeks, I guess, a week and a half?
I mean, I like what we got going. It's very straightforward. You guys are actually doing what you're saying. If it's not a good lead, I'm very impressed that you guys are turning it around and saying, okay, we won't make you pay for that. And I mean, a lot of companies, you have to fight with them for weeks and you might not get your money back for that lead. And so I was a little hesitant on working with you guys. But I mean, if we can list every other house that you give me, which realistically I don't see that not happening. And I'm probably going to list more than that because I'm going to keep in touch with them because a lot of people aren't ready now, but they will be in a couple months.
Mhm.
So I think it's definitely good for the money.
Yeah, I love that. I appreciate it. I think I do think it's super crucial that I mean, you understand it obviously. Sometimes it's just worth kind of building the pipeline. So sometimes if one lead doesn't pan out tomorrow, it will in a few months, like you said, and then eventually you get that flywheel effect of like, all right, every deal that I was working on, let's say a month or two ago, is now panning out, and then you have a consistent, predictable closing rate and lead flow essentially. So it's really nice that you understand that. That's really all that I have. So thank you for that feedback, Austin.
I can't complain. It's the people that I am talking to, I'm actually talking to them and they're very open about me coming out and
Yeah. I love
talking
that. I
to.
appreciate that, Austin. I guess I want to focus. So on the very first lead, the one that you mentioned, you're going to be going, getting
I
listed up
may,
here,
yep.
hopefully May 1st. So the biggest thing that sometimes separates a really good agent, like yourself, and somebody who struggles sometimes that we've seen so far in the program, and this is where like the feedback is super crucial, and this is what I um, appreciate, your feedback on this. What do you think that you did differently from like the very first lead we got you, right? You already met with them the next day, and you're getting listed May 1st. What was the exact steps that you kind of took in regard to calling them, what you spoke to them about, maybe perhaps, or what you think sort of separated you from somebody who, let's say, they call somebody or they call the first 10 leads and they just struggle to sort of set up that appointment?
I mean, I immediately called them as soon as I got the info and say, hey, I think you were texting Ella. Uh, I'm a local realtor, would love to talk to you about selling your house and what the market's really doing right now. And he goes, okay, how much is that going to cost me? And I said, well, it's actually a free service. I do need it. I won't meet him at Starbucks or anything. I want to come to their
Mhm.
house. So I was like, I can swing by your house tomorrow around 11-ish. It only
Mhm.
takes me about 20 to 30 minutes to kind of go over the numbers of what's going on in your neighborhood, what's sold, what's would be your competition to kind of give you an idea of where realistically your home would sell for in today's market. And I
Mhm.
and I let them know. I was like, look, I'm not going to bring listing paperwork.
Right.
Don't feel like I'm trying to sell you. This is truly just informational. You're going to get to know me, and I work right down the street, so I'm here when you guys are ready. but you need a lot of information so you can make an educated decision whether it even is a good idea to sell your house.
Okay, I love that a lot actually. So a couple things that I kind of unpack from that. One is you're leading with value and you're not really providing it over the phone, but rather meeting in person. Two, you're not focusing on the transaction at all. It's more so providing them with the necessary information so they can make an educated guess. And then three, not really having like that pressure onto the homeowner from what I understand. And like you said, if it is even worth selling their house, maybe it's worth doing it in 4 or 5 months rather than today, perhaps, which honestly probably does provide even more credibility to you because you're not just trying to sell
Make a
them the
quick buck.
thing. Yeah, make a quick buck. Okay, gotcha. All right. And then in terms of setting up the listing appointment over the phone, how was that? Was that like a because you did it within 2 days of working with us?
Oh, I mean, I did it the first phone call with them. I explained to them that, look, it's not going to cost you anything. I'm not bringing out list paperwork, so don't feel like I'm trying to come out and sell you solar panels. I was like, this is truly just informational. I was born and raised in the area. My office is next to Goody Goody Liquor, right down the road from you, and it's the blue Victorian house. And they're like, oh yeah, yeah. And I said, I can give you a big window of where your house is worth, because he's like, I don't want you coming by. And I was like, well, I know what a mess looks like. I've got 4 kids. I'm not trying to take pictures and put your house on the market. It's strictly to see where you're actually at with your house so I can coach you on what to do and possibly not to do and save you some money and be able to get out. And so I went back to their big reason for thinking about selling in the first place, which is to get out of town and downsize into the country. So,
hmm definitely. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of agents in the program who do have this, who have like similar experience. They get the first lead, set up the listing appointment, get it up and running, and get it hopefully listed this, a week later, a month later. But they're also, on the contrary, there's going to be other agents who do struggle. So right now, the biggest thing for me is trying to figure out where the disconnect is and what I can do to help all the agents across the board to make sure they have I guess, a similar experience to you, right? Because it would be great to get,
yeah, I got another one tomorrow at 11, and the lady's like all excited, waiting for me to come out. So,
gotcha.